Hi everyone, Esperance, and this is
TrueMamle.
you know, for a long overdue sit down, you know. It's been, I don't know, when did I sent you,
May,
May,
since May.
since May, so
Mhm.
yeah, since May, but we're only able to do it now, but it's better than ever, right?
Yeah.
So yes, hello Trumame,
Hello.
how are you?
How fine, thank you.
I'm good. You taught me some download words for how are you, and I forgot.
Koneke.
Koneke. Yeah, I'm saying
And
koneke.
yes, I mean, I'm koneke.
Ah, koneke.
You will say inge samina.
Inge saminya.
I mean, inge samina.
Amiko inge saminya.
Yes,
Oh,
it means I'm also well.
oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the time that I've actually spent here in Ghana, I
Mm.
think down Dane is the language that I have not really, how do I say this? You know, it's hard. You know, it's.
Yeah, because it's not common. Once you leave this area, it's hard to hear.
Yeah.
So that's why. And
Yeah.
like tree is everywhere.
Yes,
So that's
yes,
why
yes.
it's easy. Tree and gun, especially tree.
Yeah. Because I mean, but I find it also to be kind of like a very interesting language in the sense that it's very historical, you know?
Yeah, it is.
So, how's life?
Life is good.
Really?
Yeah.
And, well, I understand that a few days ago, as we exchange, you're about to leave, I'm about to leave. But what are we going to both be missing about Ghana?
I would say first my family, two the food. Yeah, it's always the food for me. And the weather, of course.
Ghanaians don't play with their food. Ghanaians don't play with their food.
And the weather, of course, yeah.
You mean like the heat of Ghana?
Yeah, yeah. The heat is good, vitamin D. It burns your skin, but it's good.
It does. Sometimes you know you just find it, and I'm still struggling though because I've not yet managed to like handle the heat properly. You know, even when it's cool like this, I still manage to sweat. I don't know how.
Yeah. All of us, but it's good. Remove the toxin out.
It does. It does. It does.
So yeah, of course we miss the weather.
Yeah. I think I'll also miss the food. Yeah, I'll miss the food, definitely. Street food. I don't know what I haven't tried in Ghana in terms of food. I've tried like from fancy kenke
to fufu.
Akplan. It's Akplan, I think.
Akplan.
Akplan. And kelewele. Wasa wasa, TZ, you name them. I feel more Ghanaians in terms of food now than anything.
Well done to
Yeah,
you.
thank you. So you'll be leaving, and I understand that you spend most of your time abroad and here.
Yeah, we'll be leaving soon, unfortunately. But when you are family there and here, you have to divide yourself.
But how do you find life in Ghana? I mean, I know this is your home and you've spent half of your life here. But how do you find life here compared to?
Tricky question. It's very confusing. Sometimes I don't understand it because, like last year when I was going back to UK, I was doing this video to the airport and I was saying I'm going home. And then I realized, I'm going to UK. And normally when I'm coming together, I said, I'm going home. Yeah, I'm not going on holiday, I'm going home. Yeah. So that was the day that something like tell me, girl, you're confused. It's very confusing. You know, you don't know. I know Africa is my home, Ghana is my home. But sometimes when I come here and things are going and then you say, okay, it's time to go, I'm going home. You know, so yeah, but it doesn't matter where you are.
Or is it more like when you're here, you miss the UK, and when you're in the UK, you it's Ghana.
Yeah, that's
You know,
how it is.
like winter and summer. You know, like when it's winter, you want it to be summer. When it's summer,
you be like that.
Yeah.
But then there's something here in Africa that draw you more.
Yeah.
You know, that when you go, you miss it, but when you get there, then your spirit is like, now I'm here, what? You know, then you want to come back. So that's why I said it's tricky, it's confusing. It might be just me. I don't know if anyone there.
It actually really isn't you. I think it's for most people who share their lives between different places. It's always that challenging, you know, because I mean, I myself also, you mentioned I'm originally from Congo. As much as I've only been to Congo like once in the last like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, strangely enough. But, you know, it's still your home. And you know, you wish you can, you know, get there. So you miss a place, and then also, you know, when you share your life, for instance, in several countries, I think you create a little bit of home everywhere you go.
Exactly.
And you feel like you don't want to leave it behind as you go. But
true.
Yeah, that's one thing. But for me, I think one thing I loved with Ghana and Africa in general is first thing first, I don't stand out. You know, you know what I'm saying. I don't stand out, so you know when I walk down the streets, I'm just like
any other Ghanaian.
Yes, you know. And also, there's a sense of freedom here. I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Freedom.
No one asks you where do you come from.
You know?
Yeah,
that's it. So in that sense.
Or when did you come?
When did you come? Yeah.
When are you going?
When are you going? Are you legal here? Nobody really cares.
When did you visit?
When did you visit?
Like some of the tapes they use.
Yes.
Oh, I visit you for 10 years, then they know.
Or they ask you, where is home?
That's indirect, as you have documented.
Yeah. But how do you handle that though?
Well, you become used to it, you know. How do you say? You become used to it, like you hear it and like it's one of those things. You brush it. In the beginning it's not easy, but once you get used to it.
But do you think that in that sense it will one day you will ever be fully maybe how do I say this? You know, you are fully Ghanaian, right? You know what I'm saying? When you hear you're Ghana, like this is your home, fully Ghanaian. Do you think you will ever be fully English as well? Ever?
No.
Never.
Not with this color. No. You can have the passport, but that's it. Not with this color.
So
because even those who were born there with this color, they are not fully English. They can claim it, but I don't think it really is.
I have to agree with you on that, in the sense that, you know, when you're in the motherland, you really belong here. You don't have to account to like your skin tone or anything. But one thing I've actually realized then is there is also now this stigma, not a stigma per se, but like for instance, you're in the UK, if you come here and then you speak with you know, you are black and assume Ghanaian until you open your mouth, and then they realize that, oh, this is pounds speaking here, this is dollar talking, so then, you know, things change, you know?
It happened yesterday actually.
Has it?
In the hospital.
Yeah.
It did happen, but I'm not going there. It does happen.
It does happen. Yeah, for me actually, I was even charged one place I went. So, and this is why I always ask prices before. I always ask prices because I know if you don't, you will set yourself up for something else. Now then I asked I think they call them Okada. The bike. Yes, the bike. I asked the price of the bike, you know, from a friend. say, from here to there, how much is it going to be? He says, it's going to be 5 cedi. It cannot be more than 8 cedi. Then I walk to the Okada guy, and then he hears me speak English. And then I ask him, from here to there, how much is it? The guy tells me 50 cedi.
No, even 30.
No, 50. And you know, I looked at him with dismay and say, really? So, but then it's also a challenge that I've actually had, you can be black here, but if you speak with a different accent, you get treated differently.
Yeah, that's why I said it's tricky. You call your home, you are in between. I don't know how to explain it. And I actually didn't feel that way till last year, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it was last year that something like what is it going on?
Yeah.
It's farming.
What triggered it? How did you find out?
Because, like, even when we were in Accra last week, we rented a place, we were speaking, and then later on, I heard in the background, the landlady was speaking Ghana. So I changed to Ghana. She said, "Oh, I didn't know you are Ghanaian." And I was like, "I'm not that bad. My English is not that English. So we started speaking. She said, "Oh, I didn't know. I thought you are from me because of your husband and the way you speak." I said, "No."
So what was she saying in Ghana? Was she trying to read you up?
No, she was talking to a child. When we were on the phone. So that's when I heard she was speaking Ghana. I know she's Ghanaian, but I don't know which part. So when I changed to Ghana, because some people they think I don't understand the language, but I can speak at least 4. I can speak Ghana, Adan, Tree, Ewe, a bit of Ewe. I understand a lot of Ewe as well. So when I was understand it. But sometimes we just pretend and stand English. But in our village now, they all know before they don't. They try to cheat, but now when I go out here, I don't speak any English. I just go straight with them like a bike when you give I just went straight to whether you speak to you or not, you are in Ada, you have to speak Ada.
I think that's in saving grace, at least if you speak the language. And I've tried, and I think it came out so. I've tried to even blending, like when you don't want to be cheated and then you say, "Oh, let me try and speak like a Ghanaian." But the funny thing is, when you do that, then you know you're not from here.
Well, somebody tell me even your color, your skin color. I said, "What's wrong? We have the same."
No, I think.
And he laughed. That's it. I said, "Oh, you knew it means we know." And I said, "How do you know?" He laughed. He said, "Even your skin color." I said, "Even your skin color." He didn't say anything much. Just that. He kept laughing. He said, "We know." So,
but it's all fun. I think it's all fun.
Those are things you miss when you go back. Because there you cannot be buying things and say reduce the price.
No.
The price is there and that's it.
Yes.
But here you can stand there. Oh,
hello.
Reduce it. Reduce it. I love that.
And the hours also, you see the flexibility. You can speak to somebody and say, "Don't close, I'm coming." Exactly. And then they wait for you, and then you come in and you buy what you want. But in the UK you can't do that. When it's closing time, we tell you, "Hey,
it's time."
So, but then that means you are more Ghanaian than UK.
Oh, definitely.
But if it goes up to more African. I like that. I like that. Not Ghanaian, but African. And you're a Pan-African as well, from what I understand. Really?
I like to be, but one time my son was telling me, "Well, you can't be Pan-African when you marry to white." And I said, "What do you mean?" He didn't explain it, he just laughed. I said, "Why?" He said, some of these Pan-Africans, they don't like mixing. So, because you are mixed, you cannot be." And I said, "Okay, just put that aside." But even though I'm married to one, he understands why I'm I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's no racism or anything.
But I think there is a misconception amongst people of what Pan-Africanism really means. You know,
Exactly.
and then they think that Pan-Africanism has to do with like maybe hating everybody else and you know like not liking. But I don't really think that's what it is. You know, Pan-Africanism is more of a brotherhood amongst African states and countries, but it doesn't exclude you know anything. You know,
No, there's not black.
yeah, I think so. But for me, I'm a very strong advocate of no border because it doesn't make sense at all. You know,
It just threw my head in something. Like last week, I'm really with that. I think I'm still editing. I was walking past to a place and I think AU, I still need to investigate what that place is, but it's AU and Make Africa Great and the rest, all the things. And then I was just uncomfortable. How long? You know, and then when I finished...
Is it a free trade agreement?
There's an area in Accra near the stadium that they put a statue there. I mean, like I said, I didn't get more information. I need to look into it. But it's all talking about Africa, make Africa great. Africa shall be great again and things like that. And then from there we went to the museum and I was sad, you know, what Kwame Nkrumah was being through and all that he said because they play what he was saying to you and you are listening to it like today and nothing is going on. Like our leaders today are saying the same thing, but they are doing the talking, but they are not walking. You know, like I don't get it. I just don't get nothing. That they will push all these borders aside. That they will say, okay, first thing, let's eat Africa, let's wear Africa, let's trade among ourselves properly, not in between properly, and one currency. You know, like the EU. You know?
And remember, the AU gave birth to the EU.
EU. Yeah.
You know, right? They were inspired by that. And
they did it. They stole the idea. They did it in white. Yeah. And we are still crumbling. I just don't get it. Like, what do they need? What are they waiting for? Maybe my great grandchildren will come and see that. I hope so, but I think it's getting too late.
You know what I think? You know, and this is one thing I've realized is, you know, when you go to different African states, African countries, you realize that every single country is going in its own direction. And that is a big problem. Yeah. You know, it's a bit like the EU. You cannot go your own way. You know, they all have a certain agreement that we are moving towards this direction. I was shocked, you know, like Burkina Faso imports chocolate, right? And this is a very funny story. Ghana makes chocolate. Burkina Faso imports chocolate from Switzerland, right? Now, the chocolate comes from Switzerland, and then they are offloaded at Tema Harbor, put into truck in Ghana,
and take it to
into Burkina Faso.
That is not very far from here.
You know what I'm saying? So, there is chocolate in Ghana that you're importing from Switzerland, which I don't have a problem with. But then now, it has to even go through the country that has... You see, for me, that's...
It doesn't make any sense.
You know,
nothing is making sense. Nothing is making sense. And it's sad, you know, it's very sad. Because some of our leaders now are stronger than before. But I don't know whether it's all talking or doing. Because for me, unless I've seen it, all this talking, I don't know how long it will take. It's sad.
it is.
And we are paying the price. Our future generations are paying the price. You know. I don't know what they are doing about it. All our resources are going. They can't be here forever. They can't be here like I drove and I saw a Chinese factory like it's as long as it can be. And they are taking the money, the road is rubbish. Even the sand, they are digging, extracting the sand from the water before the locusts take that. You know? And now they brought their trucks and they are taking them out doing their own factory boats, whatever they are doing with it. It's just sad. Apart from that, why can't we travel among our own countries?
Yeah, I think really if they can be freedom of people and goods, if they can be that already, that they will be a challenge to monopolies. And monopolies are like all these big, like corporations.
Yeah.
Like, the ones importing chocolate in Burkina Faso, it's not the local Burkina. It's like these big, giant companies, and they would rather buy from like
their own people. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
They are buying from their own people, taking it to the supermarkets in Burkina Faso. So why can't we also produce our own and sell it here? And sell it even cheaper because we produce the raw material. But then you go to the supermarket, the Ghana chocolate is even more expensive than the imported one. So you tend to go and buy the foreign one instead of buying the local one. So nothing is making sense. So
there is that, but there is also, I think, one more thing also that it's something that I've realized here is people need to maybe learn a literacy on pricing. It's very important to teach them how to price. Like when we were just talking about the accents now, they charge you based on the accents, but it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You charge based on the service you're offering.
Yeah.
You see. So I think people also have to learn that because you realize that if you don't do that, you have things that are made here that are more expensive than those that are being imported, and your market is not going anywhere. What do you think of that? The pricing?
The pricing it happened to all of us.
It does.
It happened to. So like, for example, sometimes I will ask my brother that I said if I was ready, he would pick you and then we'll meet somewhere else in my mom's place. So sometimes I'll ask him to go and price something there before, and then even ask him to pay. Because if I go there, even though I'm a Ghanaian, okay, I have pounds, so they'll price me.
That's the problem.
That's a problem.
Do you think we also see, like on the continent, we see each other as prey instead of potential partners?
I think so in many ways.
Yeah. Because when you're coming from Togo to here, like here, like the authorities see you as like, okay, this is a source of income for us, like let's extract. Instead of seeing you as like a fellow African who's maybe here to buy things and stuff like that. And for me, it's I necessarily do not just have to say that it has to be an African thing. I'm saying it has to be an everybody thing. You see, like the same price that you are charging me, you also have to charge anybody else. Don't just take advantage of
That's
me.
the mentality we need to change.
Yeah.
Like in Europe, we have fixed price. So even if there's change tiny bit, and then you have freedom to choose to go around. Well, here too you have freedom to choose, but then people need to realize that something that can be yours, you can get that job, but because you think that person has money and you charge the person high. For let me give you an example. When we started building this house, the person who did the footing wasn't the person who finished the house. So he charged through my cousin, and then 9 months later, he break down the prices from here to here, from here to here, from everything. It's on paper. I think I gave him paper, let him put everything down so it's evident. Okay, once he see me, the price double. No double, triple. So I said, no, it's not like that. We were on and on and on, and one thing turned to another. I have to force him to finish the footing. And then after he finished, I still beg him again. I have my money to pay you, and I'm begging you. So I just beg him, and I said, well, it's tough. Just go your way, and I'll go my way. And I'm gonna get another person to do the job, and the person finish it. So you lose. Sometimes they have to learn how to, like,
yes, and be consistent, you know, like
yeah,
if you're charging 10 cedi,
it's supposed to be 10,
it's supposed to be 10
to be 10 and 30 for another person.
You know, it changes, it varies all the time. And that's, I think, one of the few things that I really was not really happy with, you know, traveling here. And also, again, one thing I saw, I didn't visit the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial.
Okay.
I haven't yet. And the reason being, I'm not boycotting, but I'm just saying, I think I went there and then it was 25 cedi for a Ghanaian. And then for a non-Ghanaian foreigner, you have to pay 100 cedi. That is 4 times the price. You know, when you go to the UK,
if you are African,
you know,
you are not supposed to be.
You are not supposed to, you know.
But you have Africa with the ECOWAS passport, but then it doesn't work in certain things. They have to change that one as well. Because luckily, when I'm here, I travel with my card, my Ghana card. So I use that to pay, and I pay for my son, and my husband pay the full price. So, but then if you're African, this story is for Africans.
Yes.
Kwame Nkrumah there talking about Africa. He said Ghana cannot be free, whereby the others are not. We all have to be free. But then yet, that's one of the examples. Yet you're going to listen to that as an African. But then they are telling you have to follow, you have to pay. You know, that's another thing. I hope somebody is listening that can do something about that.
You know, I think it's gonna be, well, somebody's listening. People are listening. But the point is that, you know, if we can talk about it because we see this experience firsthand and having traveled all over overseas and stuff like that, you know, you have people like Dangote who are saying the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, Dangote is, no offense to African leaders, but he's achieved way more than all the 55 African presidents combined, you know, in terms of growing economies and he advises, he advocates about a free trade and a visa-free regime. I think if they don't listen to somebody like that, I don't know if there's any hope for them listening to this and changing things, but it's always worth talking, you know.
We have to keep speaking our mind. We hope for the best one day. One day somebody, I don't know who will come, the Messiah will come to save Africa, but it's just all nonsense to me. I just don't get it. You know, when I listen to them, like I have a video, I just put it in private because it annoyed me so much. When the South African president went to France, what was the message? France, they went to France to do something, I can't even remember.
Recently?
Yeah, in June.
France Africa Summit?
They have a name for it, something like, yeah. And then they said we are not begging. Okay, we are not begging. But they were begging. They said they were mentioning money that they're supposed to give to Africa and they are not giving. Who is going to give free money to Africa? You know, when they give you the money, the conditions attached to it,
the results,
the resources that they will take to cover. So why asking for it when you said you are not begging? And another one that I heard about the electricity in South Africa, that they can produce so much electricity. And part of South Africa, most of the time, they are in the dark.
Yes.
Because of light off. So who is holding your hand not to do it? Somebody sitting in France, in the USA, in UK. Do your own thing. Look after, when they are looking after their people, Are they coming to you to seek for advice? For you going there asking, no, I just, sometimes I hold back. I don't want to go.
No, I mean, you have to.
It's just, you listen to things like that and it's like a grown up man, an old man, using my language.
That's it,
Yes, please. Just sit down, gather yourself like you do always. Come back with a good plan. Solve this one problem. Free trade, borderless. Create your own wealth.
It is. But now, if I have to answer to that regarding South Africa, because it's a system that I've really studied very well. So South Africa's wealth is in the hand of a tiny minority.
Okay.
Very tiny minority. As in, you see, like for instance, here you have informal traders, like this person sells, this person sells, this person sells. But there, it's, the trade is held by corporations, big corporations. Like for instance, the banks own land. They own, well, not necessarily land, but like any project that's done on the land goes through the bank. If you're going to buy a house, it's the bank, and the bank belongs to a certain group of people. You see, and then even the like, let's say food, for instance, like the food, you have supermarkets, and all these supermarkets are being they are owned also by a fraction of people. Everything is it's a little bit of a small circle of friends that holds the South African economy. Now, the sad part is these guys are the guys that are sponsoring
everything.
Governments, opposition, everything they're sponsoring. Now, South Africa, we find it very hard to pass the free trade agreements. Why? Because most of these guys take South African resources, import overseas, and then import from overseas to South Africa. So they control the market. Now, if there is a free trade, for instance, South Africa imports, I could be wrong, but from my last research, they even import oranges from Brazil.
That's sick. Excuse me, that is sick.
And it's not over. And there is a province in South Africa where these oranges and mangoes are just rotting. And then they're importing. It's because those guys are trading amongst themselves. This small little hand trading amongst themselves, and they have zero interest in reaching you and say, TrueMamle, this is your land, we're going to get your oranges, we're going to give you money.
So the government need to create that.
If the government is held hostage, because there was a thing that was state capture or something, if the government is maybe influenced by some of those, so it becomes very hard.
But that's why trading among ourselves would help.
Yes,
because if those big guns are doing their own thing, importing orange from Brazil, then we can take our wares from South Africa to the neighboring country, Africa.
And funny enough, if there's a free trade, Malawi even has more oranges. It can come through from Malawi to South Africa, but enriching Malawi as well. But the problem is, these guys are trading in dollars. They have zero interest in trading into unknown currency.
So they have to stop and get their own currency.
That's the thing. So
I don't know. This thing, they have to. Well, Gaddafi is gone, so I don't know who will be the next.
I think.
We are getting into politics now.
No, I mean it's
Gaddafi is gone.
I think, if you get somebody with such ideas, I don't think it will last long, unfortunately.
Who will be the Messiah that will sacrifice?
That's the point. I think it comes from the people. Also, they have to be aware themselves and say, this is what we want. And then a Messiah can come. The Messiah comes to save you, but you need to be saving. You get what I'm saying?
You're willing to save yourself.
I think you stem from a Christian background, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you hear in the good book when Christ, who's Son of God, right? Comes and he asks you, what can I do for you? He knows probably what you want, but you have to say it. Then, so that you don't come later on and say, no, I didn't want to recover my sight, I wanted money. So he asks you what you want.
Yeah,
So
what you really want.
What you really want.
That's what the question in Africa now. What do we really want? Because when I was in secondary school, ahead of ECOWAS, we learned that they said ECOWAS passport, we can travel freely. Oh wait, thank God, now I have one. So it has come into existence, but it took so many years. So hopefully maybe the currency will also come. The currency 2 or 3 years ago ahead, it was printed in France. Why France?
It's still printed there. I think
why France though?
Because I think France still controls all the France-African countries.
So, you know, that's how they give us the loans. See, it's our own money, they print for us, and then they give you as a loan. It's like your own money. So that you go to the pool, you bring me water, and you say, TrueMamle, I need that water back tomorrow or 3 days ago. Why can't we all print our own money in Africa and then end the story? They bring the money, they get like 70% in their bank, 70% in their bank, and do whatever they want to do with it, take interest on it and give you 30%. And then tell you what to use the 30% for.
And then on top of it, the funny thing is, on top of it, they own rights to all the mega projects, the reserves and the resources. You know, I don't know if you heard of the Inga project in the Congo. And that has been going for over 34 years now. I'm telling you straight up, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Not that there is no will, there is no partners, but remember, some of these projects are exclusive to some firms or some countries. Just imagine. I'm not naming names, but I'm just giving an example. Let's say, for instance, the Universe Bank, right?
Yeah.
The Universe Bank will tell you that this project is ours to finance, and you will own it. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot touch it. Anybody can come, any president, any politician. No, I want to move this project. The Universe Bank will come and say, this one is ours. We will finance it. And here is our terms and conditions. We will own full control over it, and we will do this and this and this and this and this and this. In the end, you don't even benefit a dime. You will have to pay them to use your own greed. A power greed, you know, it's crazy, but I think it's also a position in which most of our leaders have put us, you know.
I hope one day to stop.
But in the meantime, you are going back. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no, because of my mom. So it's a confusing stage. That's life, isn't it? It's life.
It's life.
Yeah, one foot is there, another foot is here.
Yeah.
What can you do?
It's life.
One day I'll finally come and live in Africa. Maybe go in Africa.
Will you travel around Africa?
Oh yes, and I would love to travel.
Because I've seen you've been in
just few.
some of the areas
Europe I've been to a lot, but in Africa, just Togo, Burkina Faso. Yeah, that's it. I would love to go to Nigeria.
Yeah, it's really lovely. But you know, it's actually more expensive to move around Africa than it is to go to Europe. You realize that, right?
Yeah, we spend the money we spend for a week all inclusive in Turkey. We spend for 3 days just for rooms in Accra. Yeah, Thursday up to Sunday. Yeah, so when we want to go on holiday, it's not only about the money aspect about it. But it's the freedom of movement,
Yes.
the peace.
Yes, the peace.
You know, you
tranquility.
just show your passport and click and you go.
Mhm.
And here you show your passport and they still have something to ask you.
Yes.
Where's the other card?
Yes. And where is this? 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 And in the end, it makes you wonder.
It's not holidays anymore. It's like stress.
It is.
I will see.
Yeah.
I'm planning by the grace of God. Maybe next year or so I'll start traveling. See?
Yeah. But you see, it's a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I was actually the first time I wanted to go to Burkina because I was in Paga and I wanted to cross to Burkina. You know, my papers are okay now and everything. Like I'm legit here. Then I get to the border. I want to cross into Burkina. It's the Ghanaian immigration. Hello, Ghanaian immigration. The Ghanaian immigration, there, I wasn't alone, I was with a friend. And then she hears Hausa. She hears, like, she speaks it, she speaks it here. But she pretended, she was like, she's Ghanaian, so she was white. And then now, these guys bring me into an office.
That's small office.
Yeah. Remember, my papers are okay. All you just have to do is stamp me out. Just stamp me out, let me go. Now the guy brings me in and says, your visa is a single entry visa. So so if we let you out,
you can't come back. Well, you know that.
Okay. And then I was like, okay. And then he's trying to sell me an idea now that okay, you know what? Why don't you leave your passport here? And then you get a how do you call that?
They give you something.
Return slip or
something.
Yes.
It happened to us.
It has.
Yeah. But then I wasn't a content creator.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about your story before I finish.
No, you finish.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can have that and then you can hold your passport and then you can go and then come back. And
how can you enter somebody's country without your passport?
And then how can I leave my passport with you? Who are you?
For us, we did it. It was me, my mom, and my cousin, and my younger son. So we left all our luggages there because I didn't know.
Yeah.
First time. So they talk. They said leave everything. I end up we lost our but then it wasn't iPod. Is it iPod? The smaller one.
iPod, yeah.
Yeah. Later we found out that was missing. I'm not saying it's the immigration.
Yeah, but
it can be because we have to go on a motorbike. And I was just going, my sister died there. So we're just going to send greetings to the people who helped. So we just go in and come back. We left everything there, they gave us that paper. And we test on the motorbike, we went on the Burkina. And then we have to come back and then pay them another money.
How much did they charge you?
I can't remember, it was like 5 years ago or so.
Because that paper is supposed to be free.
Yeah, we paid for it.
You see? And I didn't know that it's supposed to be free. I was given one when I went to extend my permit. Like they just give it to you. They give it to you that we don't have to pay anything for it. But then now they were speaking in Hausa. Now my friend could hear what they were saying. Now the guy was telling his superior because he had my passport. So this is what the lady is telling me. He was looking at my passport. He says, there's a lot of stamp in this passport. This man has traveled a lot. It means he has it. See, this is what the immigration is telling me. Like, it means he has it. So from my understanding of what she told me later on, she says, what they mean is you have money to move around like that. And then in the end, it was like, she tells me that he said, this one we can bleed him 2K. Okay. Bleed him 2K. So you went to
you're African.
Why
are you paying for?
What am I doing? And I'm legal here. I want to go to Burkina. Let me handle my business.
When you get there.
When I get there, and then when I want to come there, it's okay. This is just me. So I found it very strange. But you know, I was that day. I think something in me just snapped. I took my passport. I came all the way back here. I did. No, you know, the thing is, I don't like corruption.
So you came back and you went to Togo?
No. I came back from there. I came and then I went to Tamale. No. I went to
Bolga.
no Bolga. I went going. But from there I went to Navrongo, Tamale.
Did you pass through Sankasi or?
No.
Because Sankasi they are border there as well.
Oh no! I didn't even bother go back there. I said I will go back to Burkina, but let me just come back to Accra, and, because they've already spoiled my mood, and it's just like because really I didn't find any point in paying any money to anybody. So that's what I did. And the thing is, because of the guys is they think everybody has to bribe, but if you don't like corruption, you don't like it, you're not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with having all the documents and I still have to pay for something.
You need to end. I don't know, but it will take time. Long time. Yeah.
But your saga, you say you've experienced the same thing?
Yeah, almost the same, because we have to return anyway the same day. And for them to give a visa, they were telling us the visa will cost us also amount, which is it's too expensive. So they will do it this way, plus my mom didn't have passport. Meanwhile, she's old woman, they're supposed to have. We were going to come back, so they just gave her that paper, they let us pay certain amount. And then they kept the teeth when we come back. Well, we have to go, so what can you do?
So, what are your hopes for the future?
I hope for the future. I hope one day Africa will unite, so we can travel freely like we were talking about. I want to come back to Africa, settle here, but the system is the thing. The system is so different, Everyone is talking about. There's no way you spend 20 plus years somewhere and then come back and you will notice the system.
Yeah. It's in your face.
Driving from here to Labadi, we have to pay bribe like 3 times. Police.
Checkpoints.
A lot of things. So it's not easy, but it's our country. We still have to come back. Maybe one by one, things will change. But if you come and the system doesn't work and you feel like going back, you can go back. But my hope for the future is to finally come back. And I want to say something that we have to deal with agriculture. We have to, as Africans, our young Africans, our old Africans, those who can support with money, we should deal with agriculture and do it well, because I don't know if I have time. I keep saying I will do a video about our roadside. Those pineapples and the mangoes. You buy them and then tomorrow it's spoiled, rotten. Before it wasn't, even 3 years ago, it wasn't like that.
Oh, really?
And the government, I don't know whether they know it or they don't know it. So I think tomorrow, I don't know, maybe Thursday or Friday, I have to go around and do a video about that. And wherever you go, talk about it as well. We have to deal with agriculture and do it well, because they are killing us slowly with this fertilizer. Now, cancer, diabetes, this and that. We don't have those things before. In the olden days, somebody will say, because now we have machine to find them. live longer? If they have all these things, how do they live longer?
And they were not.
My granddad was like 100 plus years.
Never visit a hospital.
No.
Or maybe once.
I can't even remember.
Yeah.
You know? But now it's rapid. And if our government do not look into it, I'm glad the Uganda president is doing something. That old man that people laugh at, he's protecting his country from great things. The day, God forbid, he will die, they will realize what it means. You know, encouraging the farmers, them to do it themselves. Here we are doing it, but we are doing it the wrong way. People are doing the farming, they are doing it the wrong way. And it's sad to watch, it's very sad to watch that we are giving ourselves sickness. And who is providing the fertilizer? Who is providing the medicine? The same people who are producing the chemicals, the fertilizers, they have shares in the pharmaceutical. And our agri officers, I don't know what they are doing. I don't know, it's sad. It's nowadays, if I go outside and I see our food, it is sad. You know, that's the only thing that bothers me so much nowadays when I look at food. You know, the quality of the food that we are eating now is worse than what the West are having.
And I think also the problem is people are, you know, and it's something that I've realized, it's not just a Ghanaian problem, but it's a problem a little bit all over Africa, that, you know, the youth are not looking into agriculture as a viable way of like create a sustainable economy. You know, I'm sorry to say, I've seen it. I saw it also in the Congo and in so many countries. You find most people, and it's crazy. People in cities packed, sandwich packed, going left, right, center, looking for jobs and being unemployed, whilst they have left lands that they can work on and then they can create an economy out of it. You know, I think they've also been sold the dream that, you know, to be successful is to have an aircon office instead of being in the field. You know? So they are not encouraged to do agriculture because they look at it as means for the poor, for the, you know what I'm saying? They look at it with disdain.
And those who are doing it also want more youth. They don't find people, Greek officers. If you are there, you are a Greek officer, please let us know in the comment section what you are doing to work. Because this is serious. This is our future generation that we are talking about. And even the old people that we are talking about, like, they want, before you can buy tomatoes and reproduce that tomato, the seed, you can just throw it around. We have some here. You can see the tomatoes there. Throw it and then it will germinate again. Right now, I went to a farm and I was told those peppers and tomatoes, you cannot replant them. It won't work.
Yes,
because it's Monsanto.
Yeah.
And I've never heard any African government talking about Monsanto. It has been there for years and years. Indians are fighting it because their land has been destroyed because of Monsanto, and now they are fighting and they are working. At least they know what they are fighting. But in Africa, it's like dormant. Nobody talk about it. But it's here. I was scared when I went through places and they were telling me. I was like, it's here. But then the government is not saying it. No one is saying anything. I mean, a villager, somebody bring them seed. They will plant it.
They will. They just see seed.
They don't know that planting that seed after the harvest, the next seed that they will get will not work on that land unless they get that same particular seed. See? And the same fertilizer. So that monopoly is being created in Ghana as we speak. I don't know other countries.
I think it should be in other countries as well, because Ghana cannot be an isolated example.
For me, this is what I've seen. Because when we walk a lot and we go to so many farms and we see a lot of, and I ask questions because it's food. And they tell me their stories, what's going on. But they have no choice. You see their faces, so you see what it is. They don't know. They have no idea, no clue. Like a lady, I was buying okra and the lady was telling me she started buy mango on the street. I don't buy mango on the street. And I said, what? He said, you know what they did? They were putting, we have a chemical that they put on the wood to protect the wood from
rotting.
Yes. He said those chemicals they were putting on mangoes. She said since that day, she planted her own mango trees on her farm. She said, until I get mango from this tree, I'm not buying mango outside.
I think people are doing things without being aware.
They don't know.
It's lack of awareness.
Yes, they don't know.
Some of them genuinely are not aware.
Yeah.
And others, I think, are like just careless.
I just want the money.
Yeah.
But many don't know. Few are people that don't, they just want the money.
Yeah. So for you, hope for the future, you come back here in Ghana and then agriculture.
I've started.
Oh, you have, obviously. The way you talk about this can only come from a certain experience.
Yes,
you know?
I have started.
Yeah.
I have started. Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe one day I'll come and see the final product
Yeah.
of what you have.
Yeah.
Will you invite me?
Why not? Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. So the next video we will have,
it will be on the farm.
it will be on the farm.
Don't worry.
No,
Don't
that's
worry.
good.
You have to, what did they say? You have to put your mouth where your
Money where your mouth is.
where your money, where your mouth is,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I did try in Uganda, I failed. Yeah, I did try,
Oh.
but I never thought of, yeah. And then, yeah, I've tried several places. It doesn't work. I'm still doing it. I used to have a big farm across the street.
Yeah.
But we sold all the pigs now because of water.
Shortage? Water shortage?
No, when it rains, the water comes
Okay.
because of the dam that is closed. Anyway, long story short, maybe one day we'll move somewhere else. Yeah. I like agriculture. Yeah, we go to the point that it could have been very profitable. The beginning is hard, but when it started to big, to multiply, yeah, that's when so you have to sell them. Yeah, we can all do our bit.
You've had an interesting life. This has been an enriching exchange. I don't know if you've learned as much as I have, but I've learned a lot from you. Yeah, and I mean, if you have any questions for me, or
I want to ask you one or two questions.
let me put on the hot seat. Yeah.
So, why are you traveling Africa?
Well,
why do you have to leave your, before then, if you don't mind me asking, what type of job were you doing?
You know, I've been in IT, like, information technology, like most of my life, right? But, as you realize, when you live in a developed country, you have like a routine. It's not bad, it's very good, but you have a routine, a way of life, and you have this that is expecting. It's a bit like everything of yours is planned until your death. Until your death. And sometimes you just feel like if you can escape the matrix, that's something. If you can just escape the matrix. And then, as I was telling you, I've traveled before, but But you know, the more you get exposed to the world out there, the more you realize that your life is confined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to be like, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna live here. For the rest of my life, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to this place. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna shop here. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna, you know, like that is just so limited.
Yeah.
And I say I don't want to do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, life is too short.
It's too short.
Live it
Exactly.
freely. Yeah.
And then I started traveling like this, discovering the world out there. And it's a bit strange to say, but it's like the more I travel, the more I find myself.
That's nice.
I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it
Did
makes
you
sense.
know I'm really finding myself every day. And I'm also learning other people's experiences. And some of them are very sad. You see sad things on the road. You see things that make you happy. And you see things that, it's mixed of a lot of things. And I will give you an example of the sad things that I've seen, traveling Africa to this village. I went to this village and then I see a young girl sitting under the tree. She was like 13, and the person that I was with is telling me, she's married to 13. Says she's married to that man there. The man is 76.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at the girl's face.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. It's very. You can tell that she's not happy. And you can tell, but now you are in this place also, you don't want to sound arrogant and start giving lessons or, like deciding what's best for others, because this is maybe the way they do things in this village, but it's very sad. It doesn't leave you indifferent. Wherever I go, I still have, that in mind. And also sometimes, I travel, and then I was on a plane. That was a few years back. There was this lady who was going somewhere. I'm not going to name the country, but she was going somewhere. I know she's being trafficked. I know. You just takes few questions to know you're going somewhere.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Well, she was 17, I think. She was 17. And she was originally from Nigeria. So it struck my interest when I was listening. So where you go, she said, I'm going to this country. I said, oh, okay. So why do you want to go to there? I said, no, I'm going to be doing hair. Oh, how did you find out about this place? No, a friend of mine connected me and says there's an opportunity. Like things like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, so did you pay for your ticket? Oh, no, she paid for mine. I know where this is going, and I understand, because that country, when you go there,
that's what you do.
That's what you do. You are being trafficked, and you might end up as a, So, yeah, so it's, but I told her, I said, well, if you get there, you can send me a WhatsApp. Please remember, just send me a WhatsApp and say hi. I never really.
Yeah, they will throw it away.
So it's things like that. But also I've learned very good things, that you get so much. People don't even know you, but they embrace you as their own, and they're willing to do things for you that even those that become close acquaintances cannot. Those are things that I've seen. I've created so much good friendship along the way, on the road. Some people are we friends until today. We really are friends, because we operate from a place of, I don't know where you come from, but I like you, and this is who I am. The genuineness. Not that you sit in your office, in your work in the UK.
You will never see anyone.
Yeah, and when people open your door, they smile at you because they want something.
And then that's it.
Yeah, see. So that is it. So yeah. So I will travel for quite some years. Maybe for the rest of my life. So yeah.
I hope and pray you meet good people on your way.
Yes, yes, I have. I think I have good energy, so I mean good for people. So I'm stumbling only on people like that. So, yeah, that I will see you again soon. You know.
Good. Hopefully we'll meet again
Oh
soon.
yeah, for sure.
Just unfortunate today. But it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good that we have this sit down and talk. Thank you very much, Mamle. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Yes. Alright?
Yeah.
You want to say something to the viewers?
Guys, please support my brother. Subscribe, like the video. This is just chatting.
Yeah.
We are just chatting. Nothing personal, nothing serious. If we say something you don't like, forgive us. But like the video and share it. And subscribe as well.
And subscribe to her channel. So I'm gonna leave the link down here, TrueMamle. So you're just gonna have to click on it quickly before you come back and finish this video. Oh, this is the end of the video.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like what we've done here, if you have anything, any comments for our chats, just leave it below, and we'll respond to it, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Let's make Africa great.
Let's make Africa
and the whole world great.
And the whole world great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you as well.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Oh,